Have you ever wondered how is it that entrepreneurs can make money out of buying or leasing a banking instrument and then finding a monetizer and monetizing it? In this video, I'm going to show you an actual customer, walk through a customer who's retaining us to do that exact same thing for him. You've got to watch this video. Hi, I'm Taimour Zaman from LineofCredit.ai, soon to become ALTFunds Global. My organization decommoditizes banking products and services that have been in existence for years, primarily services that banks are offering to their Fortune 30 companies on the planet. I decommoditize that and make that available to the everyday entrepreneur so that we together can create meaningful change out of this let out. My organization is pretty simple. We leverage companies' cash or assets and help that client access capital that traditional banks or brokers only provide to their really Fortune 30 companies that are. This amount of capital really allows our clients to buy new businesses, expand their existing business, have investment capital to grow their business, survive things like COVID or inflation like that. And we're only able to do that because of our reputation, the volume of business we do with banks, our expertise, our experience, our relationships like that. I'm about to show you a video of one of our clients who recently retained us to help show him buying or leasing banking instruments and monetizing banking instruments work. And full disclosure, this is not a solicitation video. It's not about us soliciting anything to you, your friends, your family, anything like that. This is the content of this video strictly for education and entertainment purposes. My name is Taimour Zaman. I hope you find this video helpful. I look forward to seeing you on your side. Okay, Mike, so you've signed a retainer agreement and a bunch of fees or whatever with us. So I'm going to say you're a client. You've actually paid me money, so I can say you're a client.
Yeah.
You're a real estate, I'm going to say developer, and I'm not going to talk about the hotel or the amount of money that I'm getting for you. I just want to talk about the case study, and because a lot of entrepreneurs like you are asking the questions, if you are buying or leasing an instrument and then you're monetizing it, how is it that I am getting a non-recourse loan that I don't have to pay back? That's the question.
That's right.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about how an issuer of an SBLC makes money. And then let's talk about how a monetizer of an SBLC makes money and where you fit in and why do you get a non-recourse loan.
Okay.
The issuer of a SBLC, so let's say somebody wants to give you a $120 million SBLC. In this case, you actually don't have a $120 million SBLC, correct?
That's right.
Okay, good. I'm not sure how much my team has helped you or not, so that's something you have to tell me. Did we help you as in provide the backup that you have proof for $120 million? Did we ever introduce you to a law firm that does that for clients?
Yes.
So I don't want to talk about the structure of that law firm, but here's how I'm going to talk about it. The guy who's going to give you a $120 million standard of credit, here's how it works. That guy has maybe $2 billion or $5 billion sitting in his account. He picks up his phone, he calls his banker and says, I want to give $120 million in a standby of credit out of the $5 billion cash I have to a guy called Mike, right?
That's right.
So his banker issues you a standby of credit from a top 20 bank like Barclays, HSBC, that in your name for $120 million. Nobody is wiring $120 million to you.
That's right.
All you're getting is a piece of paper. It has the Barclays or HSBC or Credit Suisse, whoever the bank is, and it has your name as a beneficiary and says, we blocked, here we have $120 million amount of credit for you. Now, Before a SBLC gets issued and printed in your name, the issuer by law is doing a background check on you. Are you a criminal? Are you a half-decent person? Like, are you paying your taxes? Things like that. And then they approve you. Can this guy afford $120 million? So they approve you of that. And then they give you something called a LOI, a letter of intent. In an LOI, the issuer says, I'm going to give you $120 million, but I'm going to charge you money for it. Correct? And then he's going to tell you his price. His price will be, let's say, 40%, 30%, 11%, 70%. He'll tell you his price.
Right.
And then you're going to get a legal contract. In this case, you're getting from one of the attorneys I've introduced you to. You're getting a legal contract from an attorney that says the issuer is issuer company ABC. Here's their legal contract to you. As they're going to give you $120 million standby of credit from Barclays Bank. And these are the fees.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll tell you the details of it, like how much do they need to, when do you need to pay, what's the instrument, what's the languaging of the instrument, is it fresh cut, is it lease, is it transferable, like they'll give you all the details around that. Does that make sense?
It does.
So when you get the LOI, what we've asked you to do is not to sign the LOI because we then need to go get a monetizer for you as part of our service. Does that make sense?
That's correct.
Good. So the monetizer will say, okay, I'm not going to monetize this $120 million instrument, and I'm going to give you an LTV, a loan to value of maybe 70%. So let's just forget that we're going to get you a $120 million instrument. Let's say we're going to get you a $100 million instrument. And the LTV is going to be 70%, which means the issuer is going to pay $70 million on a $100 million instrument. Does that make sense?
It does. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So I want to tell you how the monetizer makes money.
That's more important. Means
Right. So the monetizer has to go to his bank and say, I have a $100 million instrument in my asset list. If my company was worth $1, I now have $100 million of an instrument coming to me in my name. So the value of my cash, the value of my asset just went up by $100 million. Does that make sense?
it does.
Okay, cool. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you the monetizer has 5,000 ways of making money on that instrument. Not one, 5,000 ways, different ways of making money. Remember, I know your instrument size is bigger, but we're going to go with 100 million as a storytelling because it's easier to grasp the concept. So on $100 million, the guy can go to his bank and get a line of credit at 10 times multiples. So now he gets a line of credit for $1 billion. Now, you're a real estate investor, right? Developer, real estate developer?
Developer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What can you do with $1 billion? With $1 billion that you cannot do with $100 million?
A lot of stuff.
Excuse my language. A shitload of stuff that you can do with $1 billion that you can do with 100 million. Would that be correct?
That's right.
Okay. Now let me ask you a business question because you're a businessman, right?
Yes.
If I enable you to have real, this is not fake money. This is not hush money. This is real money. We're working with legitimate law firms and banks like that. If you get no kidding, real $1 billion US dollars, not Russian money, not North Korean money, not monopoly money. This is real US dollars. You get $1 billion line of credit loan that you can draw. Let's go the loan model. Would you be willing to pay a commission of $70 million for a $1 billion line of credit?
Yes, I would.
Okay, good. Could you see the monetizer that we're giving an instrument to for $120 million? Let's forget $100 million. Mm-hmm. That guy can get a loan for $1 billion and he's paying a commission of 70 million.
Mm-hmm.
So now could you see how he makes money? Now remember, I said there's 2,000 ways he makes money. I just gave you the most conservative banking 101 model. Trust me, there's a lot more money he makes on that instrument. Nobody I know in their right mind is going to go to their bank and get a loan for $1 billion and then pay that back to the bank. I don't know anybody who will do that. All the monetizers I know, they have 2,000 ways to make a lot more cash than that for free.
Okay.
But because you come from conventional retail understanding of banking, I'm using conventional retail model, so the story makes sense.
It does.
Okay, good. So in the contract you get from the issuer, it will say, I'm going to give you a standby of credit for $100 million. Now, you and me know the real number is bigger, but let's say $100 million. It will tell you, you're going to give me back the instrument before it matures, 10, 15 days before it matures, and the instrument cannot have any liens or encumbrances on it. There's some other verbiages around it, but I don't want to bore you with it. But basically it says, I'm going to give you a car. You're going to return the car with no damages and no scratches. Does that make sense?
Right.
I'm going to tell you how I as the issuer make money. If I'm blocking $100 million and I'm charging you 40%, which is $40 million, I never gave you the money. I blocked it for you, but I never gave you the money.
Mm-hmm.
I made $40 million for blocking money for you.
Right.
Now you're in the real estate investing business where you have to take money and then build a hotel or build whatever you build. Don't you see there's a lot more money in this one to make, and the guy doesn't even have to leave his couch?
Mm-hmm.
See, in your business, you have to go leave your couch and go deal with contractors, zoning, who cares, like all that stuff. In the credit swap business, trust me, I used to be a real estate investor myself. I am a real estate investor for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot. You don't have to leave your desk.
Okay.
So are you clear how the issuer makes money? He gets, let's say, 40% or 30%, whatever, to not even give you the money, to block the money in your name, right?
Right. I got it now.
Okay, now hold on. So all you're getting from him is paperwork. It's legal paperwork. That's what you're getting from him. Now, what we're doing is we're bringing the monetizer to a table, which means the legal paperwork, although it has your name on it, the stamp out of credit has to be transferable, which means instrument gets transferred to the monetizer and not to you. So the person who's legally on the hook for monetizing it is the monetizer, not you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
So that's how that works. So now you're clear how the monetizer works, how the issuer works. Now I want to tell you why entrepreneurs are required as part of this buy and sell program. I need to tell you why that's important. Before an issuer issues your instrument, they have to see that you have a project. There's only two reasons on the world why a legitimate bank will issue a stamp out of credit. There's only two reasons. One is for import-export business. A lot of import-exporters, even in real estate, stamp out of credit is a common banking instrument that's used as safety, security of payments.
Mm-hmm.
But the second reason why a bank issues an instrument is for credit enhancement.
Okay.
So the issuer can't willy-nilly send money for free to a monetizer, and that's called financial crime. Like they can't do that. They need an entrepreneur that has a project that requires funding, legitimate funding, and who they're writing the contract to is an entrepreneur, not to each other. Guess what the entrepreneur is doing with the profits of the project? They're doing what you're doing, building a hotel, building real estate, buying real estate, building a healthcare clinic, like things like that. That's what this market is about. Now, private banking is not a retail banking job. You need to work with people that are experienced, have expertise, and this is not an industry that is on Facebook or not an industry that wants to be on Facebook. The minute you go on Facebook, you're attracting guys that are working in a restaurant making minimum wage. This is private banking. You're looking for guys that can afford $100 million, $500 million like that. And that's what the name of this is called, private banking. Does that make sense?
It definitely makes sense.
We're here, we're meeting with you to see how we can, number one, create a more sustainable funding platform and mechanism for everything that we're doing, and also to, leverage what assets may come our way or that we have to, become a bank for transformation. That is our purpose.
We are very new with the SBLC process. What we are going through right now with a lot of our customers, an option of paying out to us. We had only a blur knowledge of what SBLCs and whatever Google has shown us. But after talking to you, discussing with you, we have come to know exactly how SBLC works and what are the best possible ways of making or getting more, how can we leverage more on that SBLC.
I mean, you shortened all the process, everything very much, and also the transparencies. So that one is a key, I think.
Awesome.
And the value of that is really you can't use words to express. No way.
For sure, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I just want to say on behalf of everybody who works with me, like Sarah, people like you make my day all day long for sure. And I really want to say thank you for being such a valuable person who has a lot of projects and has a lot of questions. And thank you for trusting me with all the money you and your clients trust you with. So I really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Sarah.
Hi friends, and I want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. The first question I guess, Taimour, we love a lot of the content you're producing, we're certainly learning a lot. Is there a way that we can work a little bit closer with your organization and learn a little bit more? So the answer to that is we have 4 ways where you can work a little bit closer with us. The first easier way is buy a copy of our book, Hypergrowth, How to Connect to Customers in New Ways. The second way is that if you're working on a project that requires project financing and you're looking for consultation around that, strategies from a proven provider, you can book a consultation call. The third one is if you want to join one of our mastermind groups, our brokers go through a mastermind group with our directors of partnerships, or I run a mastermind group on how to become a bank first. And finally, one of my favorite programs is offering trusted advisory services. Primarily these are for businesses that don't have a CFO or their CFO doesn't have real international banking relationships. They're looking for experts like us to be parachuted for about 6 months, 4 months to look at their assets, look at their strategy, bring in some bank relationships, some product services that could exponentially increase the profitability and the growth of the company, and you can access all of that through the trusted advisory services. If you're interested in things like that, feel free to book a consultation call with me, and I'm happy to help you. The next one is, Taimour, you're passionate about a mastermind group on why to become a bank first. Why is that so important? Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine you buy your coffee beans and your supplies from the same vendor that I buy it from. And imagine my coffee shop is right across your coffee shop, so differentiation is like really pretty much null. If you drank the Kool-Aid called learn how to become a bank first before you become a coffee shop owner, being a real estate developer, being a venture capitalist, whatever you do for a living, if you drank the Kool-Aid of becoming a bank first, you will not have issues and the challenges traditional businesses have. Allow me to give you an example. You made $500,000 net profit in your coffee shop business. I made $500,000 net profit in my business. You drank the Kool-Aid on how to become a bank first. You take your $500,000, you walk into places like Cayman Islands that allows foreigners like you and I to open bank licenses, not bank accounts, not corporate accounts, but you open up bank licenses. Well, in places like Cayman Islands, you and I can deposit money in our bank accounts because necessarily in our bank accounts, if you own a bank license, you have to deposit money in the Central Bank of Cayman Islands. And the central bank gives your bank a line of credit at 10 times multiples, which means your 500K now turns into $5 million. You take your $5 million and I don't know where you live, in Europe, in Australia, wherever you live in, you go to your bank, your local bank, and you say, hey, I want to grow my coffee business. I need capital for growing it, or I want to buy an auxiliary business, or I want to invest in a new business, or I want to invest in real estate. Here's my business plan. And you know when you want to buy real estate, you put 20% down and the bank gives you a loan for 80%. So guess what you do with your $5 million? You put it down, your $5 million as your deposit, and you get your bank to give you a loan for 80% of the project you're looking for with a $5 million deposit. What that means is that now you get a line of credit for $20 million. So I made $500,000, you made $500,000, and you turned into $20 million. can you outperform me in advertising? Can you maybe go to the supplier and say, hey, I want to get, buy bulk coffee beans or whatever the deal is. Give me a discount that you can't give to Taimour because I'm going to be buying it in bulk. And then outwin me on pricing. Can you even at $20 million, even this side business, like invest in real estate or something like that? The unfortunate event of coronavirus happens. And a lot of these businesses just die. You can outlast that. When the unfortunate Russian invasion of Ukraine happens and inflation goes up and all these turmoils that happen, you can outlast that all day long because you drank a Kool-Aid called learn how to become a bank first. And that's why I'm very passionate about teaching this. You're not working with amateurs, you're working with experienced professionals who know what they're doing. Next question, I guess, Taimour, you charge a fee for consultation. That's correct, we do. Why do you guys charge a fee for consultation? There's two answers for that. The first answer is that I provide about 40% of my content completely for free on YouTube. That some of the videos attracts millions of viewers, and that leads to about 600 calls a day to us. And a lot of them are junk transactions. It's joker brokers who are shopping around. Is somebody who doesn't have a real transaction. They're tire kickers like that. By charging a consultation fee, we cut all of that out and we talk to people who are serious about doing business with us. The caliber of people we meet are significantly more when we charge a fee compared to when we don't charge a fee. Second reason why I charge a consultation fee is that a lot of times our clients are looking for, hey, if I participate in this program or whatever it is that I'm doing, what are the returns I can get? Well, if you were going to be a joker broker and start providing returns, that's called solicitation. However, if we're charging a fee, the client is legally hiring us, retaining us, and so when you're hiring us as consultants, retain us as consultants for a very small nominal fee, now we are not soliciting anything. Now comes the best part of the whole thing. We actually refund 100% of the fee to the client at the time of a transaction completing. So we refund 100% of the money when a transaction completes. So this way I wouldn't say there's no cost for the call, but I just want to make sure I'm talking to a qualified individual that's ready, willing, and able to do a transaction versus tire kickers like that. Next question, I guess, who's your ideal client and who's not? Our ideal clients are businesses that have cash, that have to have some kind of liquid cash and or assets like letters of credit, real estate like that. They're looking for a large amount of capital that banks are offering primarily to their Fortune 30, Fortune 50 clients like that. You're leveraging us because of a volume of transactions we do with banks, our experience, our expertise, our ability to execute, and this new amount of capital allows our clients to get funding that allows them to buy a business, buy a new business, buy existing business, expand your business, get the project funding you need for project expansion like that. That's the market we are interested in serving, businesses that have some kind of liquid capital and or assets and they're ready to start a transaction. Next question I get, and this was an odd one. Why is there no defamation or lawsuits against your organization? So knock on wood, as a date of this video, there's no defamation or lawsuits against my organization. Awesome, yeah. There's two answers why there isn't any. The corporate answer is because we operate with a high level of integrity. Everything we do is to law firms, on paper, like things like that. That's the corporate answer. The truthful answer is my vision as a CEO hasn't been bold enough, big enough for me to knock some trees down for this to happen. So here's some facts. If you look at the big brand names in your household, whichever car you drive, a Honda, a Toyota, a Mercedes, or whatever medicines you have, Tylenol, whoever your fridge manufacturer is, whether you use Google, Facebook, look at the big brands of things you consume in your household. Look at the income statement of these big brands. You will notice every one of them, whether it's the car you drive, the medicine you're consuming, the internet, Google, Facebook, or look at their income statements and you'll notice that litigation is part of their income statement. Fact is that a lot of organizations at some point in your growth, in your maturity of your business, litigation unfortunately is part of it. And when it comes to us, we're ready, willing, and able. But the fact that we don't have it, my truthful answer, not my corporate answer, It's because my vision as the CEO hasn't been built big enough for me to try to disrupt the world kind of thing. My last question is, we are interested in learning about participating in small cap or alternative to small cap private placement programs. Why would people choose your organization versus alternative options? I would think because we use attorneys, securities attorneys, international attorneys. I think that's probably a big one because I'm in a private placement program, have been in a private placement program. I've done buy and sells myself successfully. So I would say the why choose us is experience, expertise, ability to execute. We're not providing providers that have a Gmail, Hotmail, email address like that. We're working with some of the best attorneys out there in having the attorney manage the client's funds, or having the attorney actually run a private business program, or the attorney representing the clients with platforms we vetted, like things like that. My name is Taimour Zaman. Before I let you go, I just want to say on behalf of my associates, my team, myself, I'm really grateful for the time you invest in watching our YouTube videos, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Your time and attention are yours to keep, and the fact that you watch our YouTube videos and give us some of your time, I just want to say I'm truly grateful for that. Thank you so much. I look forward to the opportunity of meeting you, and hopefully for the opportunity of also helping you on our project. Thank you.